doesn't really have a number, right?
Well, now we're using infinity in a different sense now. When we say an infinite set of numbers, we mean all possible numbers. But when we use infinite in an attribute, we're saying it's limitless.
I see. So if we use limitless and you use one infinite being, then how can there be a Trinity?
How can there be a Trinity?
Yes, if he's one infinite being.
Well, he is one infinite being, and this is an excellent question, by the way. This is what Augustine and Aquinas have struggled with. How can you have a Trinity if they're infinite being? You can have three persons, and in their divine nature have all of the infinite attributes, right? And Jesus, in fact, let's look at it this way, because this is an excellent question. This is a question on the Trinity, really. How can you have a Trinity, and how can the Trinity be God? There's no perfect illustration of a Trinity, Conan, but this is maybe close. Just because you can't completely comprehend it doesn't mean you can't apprehend it, right? You can stand in front of an ocean and say, I can't completely comprehend everything in the ocean, but I can't apprehend there's an ocean in front of me, right? Same thing is true here. You've got a triangle, and it has three corners. And in each corner, you have a person of the Trinity, a Father, a Son, and a Holy Spirit. And they share one divine nature. This is infinite. But Jesus has a finite nature, a human nature, that is connected with the divine nature but doesn't intermingle with it. So whenever you ask a question about Jesus, you always have to ask two questions. Did Jesus get hungry? As God, no. As man, yes. You can also look at it this way, that God has one what and three whos, but Jesus has two whats in one who. So whenever you ask a question about what, who to, you got to ask which what are you talking about? Are you talking about what one or what two? This is like Abbott and Costello theology here. You get the idea here, okay? But the issue here is that you can have a divine nature, and you can have three persons in that divine nature. But remember, this person over here is finite. This nature over here is finite. This person, the Son, has an infinite nature, a divine nature, and a human nature. But there is some mystery here, don't get me wrong. I think Augustine put it this way, or it was Aquinas, one of the two. He said, how can we say, he said there's one road from, say, Rome to Athens. It's still one road, but it has two endpoints, one in Rome, one in Athens. So he was trying to use that analogy to say how you could have one and also multiple at the same time. It's a difficult question, I admit, but just because we can't completely comprehend it doesn't mean we can't apprehend it. And this is not against reason, it's just maybe beyond reason. All right.